your mixtape To Keep an Open Mind, which came out on October 20th. It's got about 10,000 plays on SoundCloud. Were you surprised it reached so many listeners considering it was your first solo mixtape?
Uh, I don't know. Yeah, I guess I kind of had the expectations, the plan, and all of the Rapzilla exclusives. Rapzilla exclusive did really well. So once I had um, a sign of how well the project would be as far as the quality of the music, and then solidifying some good features like my friends at Dream Junkies and there's some other guys like Jay Monty and um, when all of the combination of all those things happened, I thought it could be something big. So yeah.
And how do you feel like you've grown as an artist over the years from, back when you did the Kings and Vagabonds EP with Street Hymns? How do you think you've grown as an artist?
Yeah, I think it was just about learning myself. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing music since I was about 17. I've been recording music and putting it out there and growing. And it's about shaking your influences and being slightly rubbed by the artists you work with next to you. And I think I've just learned how to be myself a little bit more. Listen to a lot of different kinds of genres to pick up things. One of my favorite genres is like indie folk. So I'll just go through like a lot of
Mm.
indie folk and just pick up melodies and just tunes. And so learning how to create better hooks and be a better songwriter, and just learning to be myself. I think those are ways I've grown as an artist.
In which song on the mixtape do you think you were the most open and transparent with the listener?
Oh yeah, for sure. Hatchet. Um,
Hatchet?
yeah, Hatchet is a story that kind of travels some of my, I guess, personal experience in life, whether it be the relationship between me and my wife, the relationship between me and my biological father, are some of the personal issues I've had as it pertains to following God, as it pertains to trusting and learning to follow and believe in whatever God tells you, whatever ways God lives you. Those things have kind of been a struggle and a wrestle for me. So I think that just kind of just opened up some of the transparencies for some of those things.
And what do you want the listener to kind of take away after they hear the mixtape? What do you want them to be thinking and feeling after they hear it?
Yeah, well, I'll say like a baseline for all of my music, for like any music that I put out, I would hope that in some way you would connect to it personally, and it would give you some sort of like inspiration on um, how you see yourself as a person and how you want to live. And then at best, my goal is that you walk away with some sort of like glimpse or image of God, of Jesus, and that it can somehow be impactful to your life. And knowing that, specifically, keep an open mind was kind of a mixtape put together to say, okay, here's me as an artist, here's my range. So there's no, I'm I'm good for like conceptual projects. I like conceptual projects. Um, but there's no feel to the project as in like one style. You can't say the project is like a super lyrical project. It's not all bangers. It's not all abstract artistry. It's not all conceptual, but it was more of a range of different things I could do. Just to say like this is me. This is a fun project. This is what I can do. The repertoire, and it's a mixtape. It's not an EP or an album. But just like a fun record, like here's some free music. This is what I can do. So that's kind of the purpose, to keep an open mind. But at the same time, like I said, having that basic goal for everything I do musically.
What you said you started rapping at 17. What kind of inspired
Yeah.
you to get into the hip hop genre?
Well, let me. I would have to backtrack that statement, and saying I've been rapping since forever. Like, as far as like a little kid, I think I wrote my first rap. I was about um, 9 years old when I wrote my first rap. I still remember it to this day. I'm not gonna do it on the show. um, I've been a rapper since then, and I think at about 17 was when I really said, okay, I want to be a Christian rapper, or a rapper who at least engages on some level with the terms of the gospel and faith inspired things, and basically making music that meant more. I think when I was I was a rapper and I was trying to do some music in high school, and I came to college and basically had a faith encounter at this church retreat. Someone invited me to this church retreat. I was hesitant to go, and just had like a faith. I just had a faith encounter. You know what I'm saying? And my life changed. And at that point, I knew everything about me had to change. The way that I saw my perspective through life had to change. And from then on, I was like, yo, this is the way I want to do music. And so learning to navigate that and stuff like that has been, I guess, an issue since I was, like I said, 17. So
And is your creative process different from when you're writing a mixtape to writing a battle rap? Is there a different creative process to that?
oh, most definitely. You know, the two they have two different purposes. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Battle rap is what it is. It's a battle. It's grimy. It's like watching Russell Crowe take someone's head off in Gladiator. You know what I'm saying? You're coming for the action, Chevy. So it's like being an actor. Um, I don't want to say I'm not an actor because I believe in everything I say, but it's like being an actor and playing in an action film versus a drama. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And I think battle rap is like that action film where people want high intensity. They want the fast punchlines. They want to be engaged. They want the aggression. They want those are the things they want. And battle rap is like the drama where people want to engage with you as a person. They want to see your humanity. They want to see the joy in the fun records, and they want to see the pain and turmoil in some of the other records, and they want to see the maybe your intellectual nature or maybe the simplicity of your music and how you can connect to the common person. So that's how I approach each differently. When I write a battle, it's like this is an action film. When I write a movie, it's like it's a drama. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
that's kind of the way I approach.
What got you into battle rap? Has that been something like you've been doing back since you were 9, or does that come more later on in your career?
Okay, what's funny was I did like a battle like one time in my life before I started really battling. I battled this guy. We were on a subway train in Chicago, Illinois. That's a whole like a whole other story for a whole other time. Um, but really, what engaged me with battle rap is my friend Street is a guy who really started getting me to watch some of the current mainstream battle rap culture. I was very interested because I like lyricism. I'm a
Mm.
fan. I'm a fan. I'm a super big fan of lyricism. So any of the like super ultra lyricists that you can think of, like when it comes to like the Lupes or even the Kendricks or whoever you want to, when you consider somebody to be like a super lyricist, those are people I'm a fan of. And so when I saw people battle rapping like in current like 2015, the ways in which they were shifting words was so creative. I was like, gosh, Lee, this is creative. And so just having that kind of love for lyricism and always pushing the limits as it pertains to what can a person of faith do in this arena? How do we manifest ourselves in this arena? Um, and so yeah, that's just kind of what drew me there.
And what was that? What was your first battle like? What were your emotions kind of going into the battle and going out of it?
Yeah, so I'm gonna be just like flat out honest. I'm a very confident person. I'm confident in my skill. Yeah, um, I'm confident every time I come in, and every time I'm confident, but I'm also confident because I respect my opponents. Every time I go into a battle, I say this. I said, come in, nigga, everything I believe in. I was like, so when I come into a battle, I have to prepare like I respect my opponent. And so because of that, I walk in knowing I did what I could do. And so it was good. My first battle, I came in thinking that I had an opportunity to maybe kind of be some sort of an impact and some sort of like connect on maybe an authentic level with the audience, but also just really show um, my skill set and let that be something that people caught on to. And the battle ended up being my most popular battle right now. It's got over 20,000 views on YouTube, so it's good.
And do you feel like being a Christian in battle rap, do you think that is more of an advantage or a disadvantage when you go into a battle?
Uh, it depends on where you are. It's what you make it. I think sometimes it can be a disadvantage in the sense like at this point, I think if you're gonna be a battle rapper and a person of faith, we got to find ways to be more creative with our angles. Um, because right now we all seem typecasted and everyone will put you in the same category. But we got to find ways to be more creative and like diversify ourselves out. Or otherwise, people will come with the same approaches and the same angles. And so that makes it difficult, I guess, the fact that it's hard to try to stand out. It's hard to put like there's so many constraints I have on what I'll do in a battle versus what someone else would do. You know what I'm saying? Even just the lack of profanity or the um, lack of I don't do battle the way that others do. I'm not gonna talk about certain topics that they'll touch on. Just those limitations just makes it more difficult on you. But at the same time, sometimes people see like the Christian angle as kind of like a crutch in which, like, oh, you make everyone feel bad um, for their vices or for their sins or for art form in which we know that no one really means anything they say here. This is all for entertainment, and so it's kind of both ways. It's how you treat the situation. So
And you talked about Street earlier. You get compared to him a lot just because you're both in the DFW Battle League. You're both the
yeah,
Christians in it. But I think you're kind of more aggressive than Street is in a battle.
yeah,
How do you keep that aggressive mindset, but also a Christian mindset when you go into a battle?
because that's really me in real life.
Mm.
Um, me and Street, like that's the thing. What you see for Street and what you see for me is really who we are in real life. That's not like I don't have to pretend to be anybody else. He doesn't have to pretend to be anyone else. He's himself. I'm myself. So it's kind of like I say, battle rap is a sport like any others, and we don't look at a sport like football and say, "Oh my gosh, they're being aggressive and slamming each other on the ground. They're grabbing each other by the collar and oh my gosh, did you see that JJ Watt guy? Did you see when he goes in to sack a person? How heavy he is them? Nobody does that. We understand that the sport is football, and we come to see people get hit hard. And it's kind of like battle rap. Like the sport is battle rap, and we come to see people be aggressive. And I think in our current culture, I understand the value of words, and I understand the power of the tongue and what it means in certain art forms. But I also think we have to become like more open-minded as we engage what it means to understand an art form and context. Because what a lot of people don't understand is that like I'm friends with everyone that I've battled with. Like I'm friends with these guys, and they would hate it if I didn't come at them aggressively. They would hate it because it wouldn't be a good battle. And so all of my friends and the people I've battled, they like me more for coming at them aggressively like that. So it's just understanding the context of the sport.
And you, how did you said Street kind of got you into the battle rap scene? How did you two end up meeting?
Oh, I say, well, it's a long story. It's a long story, but I really say I don't like to do this much, but I will say this is an instance in my life where I'll say, yeah, this is God's providence or God's sovereignty in this situation. But we met through a mutual friend who makes beats. The guy who actually made the beat for Hood Scholar, the music video I dropped today. He was a mutual friend between me and Street, and he linked us. He said, "Yo, you both are dope artists. I think you're similar in some ways. You should hook up." But it wasn't that I really connected with Street until I came. I work at a university out here in West Texas, and coincidentally, we didn't even talk about it. Street's little brother ended up going to school where I work. And I met his little brother, and he was like, "Yeah, I have an older brother. His name's Street Hams, and he does music, and he's awesome." I was like, "Yeah, I know your older brother." And so we just started, because of that, me and him just started talking a little bit more. It was like, "Yo, why don't we work on some music?" And we did a couple songs, some that haven't surfaced. And the first song we ever put out was he did a song on Valentine's Day called "Running Game." If you ever get a chance, listen to that. And we was like, "Yo, this is good chemistry. Let's work on the EP." And that's where K&V came from.
All right. And for those who may not have heard of you before or heard of your music, could you give kind of a brief testimony? I know that's a very big and large question, but could you kind of tell people your upbringing and how you got to where you are today?
Yeah, so I think I was my upbringing as far as life. I had at first it was just kind of like me and my mom doing the single parent thing. My mom's always loved me really hard, but she had me at a young age. My mom had me at 18, and so I think my mom was just along the way still learning to be an adult, still learning to be a person. And my mom got married to my stepfather when I was about 8 or 9, and from then on, I think they tried their best to really push to make a good environment and to make a godly environment for us in the house. You know, I went to church on Sundays like everyone else, and my parents are big like prayers and big people who like read the Bible and stuff like that, and always pushed us and engaged us to do those things. But I think when I got like the influence of my younger years and just my environment, I kind of rejected everything my parents would tell me and just I would do whatever I wanted. So I was kind of like a wild child in high school, and I was rebellious, and at a certain point really stopped engaging in faith and didn't really believe in God for a lot of reasons. I felt like I had accomplished so much on my personal own that I didn't need God because I always saw God as I guess a gateway to becoming more successful. In some communities, I had seen people just use God as a platform for blessings, or that was his sole purpose. So I graduated valedictorian of my high school. I was captain of my high school basketball team. I had like all of this stuff going for me, and so I just was indifferent to those things. And then I came to college and just was wrestling with these father issues I had with like my biological father and just some of the issues we were working through. And I never had heard a sermon preached that discussed God as being the fulfillment of everything that you can never do. Like you can work hard and earn money and you can have all of these accomplishments, but there are certain parts of your soul, there are certain parts of your person that you'll never be able to fulfill. And I think it just kind of dropped me, and I just kind of engaged, and my heart was right for the gospel at that moment. And so from then on, I just started really really walking in my faith, and haven't looked back ever since.
And I got two last questions here. For anyone listening who hasn't heard of you or your music, what battle rap do you think, if they want to go check out your battle rap, which one do you think displays your talents more than the other ones?
My latest one, me versus Ron Swish. That's my favorite
Mm.
battle. Some people, I got another battle that's coming out soon. It ain't out yet. I would say that battle, but I think I get better every battle. I try to get better every battle. But my battle versus Ron Swish, and I think it's one of my favorites because people like Ron so much. I have people
Mm.
who hit me up like Ron's really good. So I don't like when people get on the page and they're like, oh, Ki'Shon 3-0. I'm like, man, listen to his bars because it's so. But that's my favorite one. I think I really came in very prepared. So
And should that battle, is that going to be out anytime soon, that next battle?
yeah, it should be out in the next couple of weeks. I'm pushing so many things right now. You know, the Hood Scholar video just dropped. We
Hmm.
got KO that dropped back in October, and I'm working on some new music to be put out next month. So
Oh, awesome.
yeah.